In this video, I'm going to give you an unboxing setup and initial thoughts of the Amcrest AD110 video doorbell. Make sure you stick around, and if you like what you see, hit that subscribe button below and keep an eye out for more videos. This doorbell was given to me for free by Amcrest in return for an honest review, so all these thoughts are my own. Hi, I'm Will from Surridge Tech, and today we're going to be having a look at this, the Amcrest video doorbell. This is their AD110 model. I think it's the only one they do. So we're going to unbox it, have a look at the features, set it up, install it, and then I'll let you know what I think. Now that's the plastic packaging removed. I don't know why people insist on putting plastic around their boxes. Let's try save the planet, not destroy it, please. Thank you. So, it's a nice box. Actually a lot thinner than I was expecting. Yeah, let's see what's inside. If we can get in. So, inside this box, oh, it's got a foam padded lid. How very fancy. We'll ignore that. We've got an instruction manual for your chime kit, an instruction manual for your doorbell, security notice, more random bits of paper, warranty, getting started, rubbish, useless stuff. I'm sure it's all very important. So we've got a chime kit, which is this little thing. We have a lovely double-ended screwdriver. How very fancy. We have some mounting hardware, some electrical hardware, a second plastic cover thing, so you can choose the colour. Oh, we've got a drill bit, very useful. And some cables to extend your doorbell cable, I suppose. And then, of course, we have the doorbell itself. It's quite weighty, actually. A little bit surprised by that. Let's have a look. Oh, very nice. So on the bottom there is a little screw. If we remove said screw, the back comes off. So that is what you mount to the wall. And then you obviously run your cable through the hole. Don't know if you can see the hole. Run the cable through the hole. And then they connect onto the screw terminals on the back here. And then you just simply slide it back on, screw it back up, and that is your doorbell. And if you don't like that cover on the doorbell, there we go, remove the black one and replace it with, oh, I got it the right way around, replace it with a silver one. Very nice. Not sure I like the silver one, doesn't go as well as the black. Under the cover, we can see that on the side there is a flap here for a micro SD card. There is also a button. Guessing that might have something to do with connectivity. And there's also a QR code on the front. All in all, nice little doorbell, I think. Ooh, solid click on the button. I do like a solid click on the button. Lovely. So I suppose I better run you through the features and then we can get it set up. As for the features, it's got a full HD camera with 140-degree field of view. It's got a PIR for advanced motion detection, or more accurate motion detection. And it's IP55 rated waterproof. As for the installation, it's quite simple. It runs on 16 to 24 volts AC. So if you already have a wired doorbell and the transformer is in that rating, then you just connect it up and it works. If you don't, you can buy an optional separate power supply, which basically just plugs into the mains and then gives you the 16 to 24 volts on a tail. But for that, you'd then obviously need a separate chime if you wanted a chime in your house. As for integrations, there is an Amazon skill, but it's only available in the US. You can change your location to the US if you're not there using various tutorials online. And that's what I've done, and I've used the skill, and it's very good. It gives you notifications on all your Amazon devices throughout the house, And of course, you can interact with the doorbell using the Echo Show or the Echo Spot, both seeing the video and talking back to it, which is very nice. As for Home Assistant, you can integrate the doorbell into Home Assistant using the Amcrest integration, and that will give you motion and the image, but it won't give you the doorbell press, which is arguably the most important bit. That has been exposed on the API, and there is a pull request for that to be included in the Amcrest integration, but it hasn't been merged yet, so it's not quite there or available, unfortunately. Right, so we have the doorbell installed, and I've run through the initial setup process. The installation was a complete nightmare. And it's not Amcrest's fault, or the doorbell's fault, or anything like that. It was purely because of my existing doorbell. So this is a wired doorbell that obviously wires into your existing doorbell, and it's meant to run on somewhere between 16 and 24 volts. Now here in England, most doorbells run on somewhere between 8 and 12 volts, and I didn't really realise that. So I tried wiring it in, I did it all up, and I plugged the doorbell in, and it looked like it was working fine, but it wouldn't enable the hotspot, which you need to connect. And I'm guessing that has something to do with not having enough power, I suppose. And that's because my doorbell transformer wasn't powerful enough and was running the wrong voltage. So I had to go get a new transformer, and it turns out very few places actually sell doorbell transformers, let alone doorbell transformers for 24 volts or somewhere between 16 and 24 volts. And also I wanted that, cheaply, because it's just a transformer. So that was a bit of a nightmare, but it is now installed and it is now all up and running, and we've gone through the setup process. So now I suppose we should go through the app and see what we can do. So this is the app, this is my front door, very exciting. As you can see with the position, half the camera is kind of cut off, but you can see motion on the street, so that's quite nice. So we've got multi-view. Well, I suppose at the start of the app you can see you've got a chime, and you've got motion detection. And when you click on it, you can see your view. You've got a multi-view if you had more cameras, which I don't, from Amcrest Smart Home. Quality, go from standard definition to high definition. That's quite good quality. It's a shame I can't see half of it, but I don't have a wedge. I suppose I could print a wedge. I'll keep you posted on that one. We can listen. Very nice. The dog barks. We can take a snapshot, or we can record, and we can talk, as long as it has access to the microphone. 1, 2. Very nice. We've got settings. Settings are always useful. Device thumbnail. Let's have an auto snapshot. That's better. Name, password, model, all of that rubbish. Chimes. We have a mechanical chime linked up. Can we change? Can't change the duration of a mechanical chime, which is a shame. Maybe I'll try a digital chime and see if that works, because 0.3 seconds isn't exactly long enough to hear a chime, or notice a chime really. Motion detection. We've got a range. So there's a PIR in the top of it, which obviously detects the motion. So perhaps if we drop that range down, we'll only get people coming up the path. And zones. Blue zone is where motion will be detected. Well, to be honest, there's not a huge amount of point in them checking those zones. Check those zones. I'm not sure what's going to appear in the left-hand side, but that's good. We can schedule it. That's quite nice, as you would, expect for a normal situation. Night vision on/off auto. Call notification. Storage. We've got a bit of storage left. Cloud storage. There is no active cloud storage, but when you buy this doorbell, you do get a year free trial with 3 days, 12 seconds recording, which is quite good. And actually these prices for the other ones is actually also quite good. Yeah, but we don't like cloud, so we're not going to use that. What else have we got? Time zone, lovely. Share device, that'll be useful to share it to other members of the family so everyone gets the notifications. Firmware updates, Wi-Fi settings. That's quite funny. The Wi-Fi settings are the slow ones. That's because it was searching for all of the Wi-Fis. Lovely. That's just to change your Wi-Fi. A reboot. Ooh, don't want to do that. Doorbell tone and volume. Classic doorbell tone. Doorbell chime volume. Loud. Speaker volume. Loud. Indicator light. That's always good. Push notification and push notification thumbnail. Is that all the settings? And that is all the settings, really. We could see cloud recordings if we had any. And we can see our motion recordings that are stored on the SD card. Now, I've had this doorbell up and running for a little while now, so I thought I'd share my thoughts. This is my first video doorbell, so it's been quite interesting kind of seeing how habits change now that I've got a video doorbell rather than just a dumb doorbell, I suppose. I've been really enjoying the video quality and the field of view is great, although I am probably going to need to 3D print myself a little wedge because I'm currently, half the image is just a wall. Useless. Other than that, yeah, I really enjoy that the camera is treated like a camera, like a security camera rather than just a doorbell. It will be able to integrate into your NVR using RTSP, and it's got other security features like you can block it internet access and it will still work on the local network, which is great, and another tick box in the old security tick box. It's lacking a bit of notification and recording customizability in the app, I have to admit. You currently can only select motion or doorbell or both, but that counts for both your recording and your notifications. So if you want to record motion events, but you don't want to be notified by them, then you can't do that. You can only record them if you are also notified by them, and then you're putting up with a lot of rubbish. And you also don't have an option to record 24/7 onto the SD card, which is a shame. So that would be a nice feature to be able to do, just be able to split off the notifications from the recordings and choose separate settings for them. Motion detection notifications are a little delayed, unfortunately, sometimes up to about 7 seconds, which is a little long for my liking. But to be honest, I've turned the motion detection off anyway because I was getting so many alerts from people all over the place and irritating. So I'm not using that. And even if the notification is late, then the motion recording actually starts well in advance of the motion event. So you're not actually missing anything. You're just not noticing it quite as quickly. I'm really enjoying having a video doorbell. I think the notifications on the phone are great. Just avoids that "was that the door" moment, because it's obvious it was the door because it's on your phone. I also find that people are less likely to just knock on the door because it's a fancy doorbell, so they're more likely to press that. So I guess they think they're going to get a response quicker. Don't know. But that's interesting. And I have to admit, I'm not using the video function a huge amount, especially with the current delivery driver tendency to knock and run. I am quicker off just getting to the door and picking up my parcel before the foxes have got it, than waiting for the video feed to load. That's not to say it's a bad feature. That's just in the current climate, I'm not using it or needing it. But obviously I've still got the recordings, which is a nice security feature, I suppose. So it's more of a security camera than a video doorbell, I suppose. I'm reclassifying it, or reclassifying its use, potentially. All in all, it's a great bit of kit, and I'm really looking forward to when I can integrate it into Home Assistant and make some really cool automations with it, flashing some lights when the doorbell goes off, for example. Anyway, I've left a link to it below where you can get it on Amazon, and that's that. So there we go, the Amcrest video doorbell, all set up and installed. Make sure you hit that subscribe button below and click the bell icon to find out more about my smart tech and how you can build yourself the ultimate smart home.